Hi, I'm Angelina, and today I'm going to be leading a 30-minute upper body and core workout. It's going to be structured with a 5-minute warm-up and then a 20-minute HITT portion, which is going to have 4 rounds. Each round is going to be consisting of 4 exercises with 30 seconds on for an exercise, 30 seconds off, and then a 1-minute rest in between each round. And then there's going to be a 5-minute cool down. So there's no required equipment for this today. I have my mat, which I just use for comfort for floor work, a water bottle because it's important to stay hydrated, and I also have a chair. You don't have to use a chair, it's just for one of the exercises. You can easily do the edge of your bed, or I could show you how to do it from the ground. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're going to start with taking our right arm, crossing over our body, and pulling across. So sadly, I'm not allowed to use any music, so feel free to put any sort of background music on while you do this. All right, and we're gonna switch. Opening up our shoulders. And we're gonna bring our arm up, bending that arm, grabbing the opposite elbow, opposite hand, and pulling behind your head. See if you can pull a little bit more with every breath. And switch. All right. And then we're gonna interlace our fingers and push up to the sky. Breathing in, opening our rib cage. Trying to keep those arms straight. And bend forward. All right, and we're going to come up and we're going to open up our shoulders, keeping those arms straight and loose. Going across the body, alternating which arm's above. And then again, we're going to lace those fingers together behind our back. We're going to push out and open up. We're going to push out and back to open up our chest and our shoulders. I'm going to hold this here. All right, and now we're going to get into a stance a little bit bigger than shoulder width apart. Hands on our hips and rock around. Opening up our back and our core, which we're going to be using today. And switch. And we want to start getting our heart rate up, so soon we're going to transition into some high knees. All right, and let's get into those high knees. Popping opposite arm and knee, driving that up to your chest, staying in a straight line. We're not leaning forward or back. Light on our toes. And let's transition into some butt kicks. So driving that heel to your glutes. Again, staying that nice alignment. Still pumping those arms. Starting to breathe a little bit more now. And let's get into some jumping jacks. Going out and in, staying on our toes. All right, and since we're going to be using our upper body today, we want to warm up those muscles. So let's have one foot in front, other leg back, hands here. And practice just punching forward. It might seem like we're not doing much, but we're just activating those muscles before we're going to use them. A few more. And And let's switch, other leg in front, same thing. Extending out that arm, bringing it right back in. All right, and let's stand, feet shoulder width apart, arms out in small circles. Going forward, we don't want anything too big, just nice and small right here. We're going forward, and let's switch and go backwards like this. All right, and let's get into a jog. So round one is going to be structured with 30 seconds on of a side plank. So you have your feet out, up, hands on the hip, and we're holding here. Modification, come down on the elbow. And then we are going to get into Russian twist. Feet are up, touching each side on the ground, twisting, trying to keep those feet off the ground. And then the other side for the side plank. And then we have a caterpillar walk out with an optional push-up. So we're here, walking out, optional push-up, come back in, and walk back out. And we are going to start. Hold that jog for a little bit more, and then we'll get going. Keeping our heart rate up. So again, we're going to start with that side plank. I'm going to start on my right side. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're holding our hands on our hip, keeping our chest open. Want to be a nice line. Don't want to be drooping. Really focusing on using your obliques and your arm. Modification, again, we're down at the elbow. Same thing. Further modification, you're coming off from your knees. Well, let's hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds rest. And then we're going to get into our Russian twist. So we're here, feet up, touching each side of your mat, or at least trying to. Nice and quick. Catching our breath real quick. If you need to, grab a quick sip of water. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go, nice and fast. Finding that balance on the bottom. Sometimes it's easier if you grab an object. Same thing, side to side, touching the ground. Just like this. Keep pushing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next, we're going to get into that other side for your side plank. We have about 20 seconds here. The reason why I'm doing 30 on and 30 off instead of 40 on and 20 off is because we tend not to do as much with our upper body, and it's harder to hold these exercises for longer. But feel free to push yourself for that extra 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're holding this here. Making sure we're not leaning forward, just keeping our chest open. Finding that balance on your hand, on your feet. Breathing in through your nose and out your mouth. Making sure we're not arching our back, we're keeping our core engaged. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Next we have our caterpillar walkout with that optional push-up. Get a quick break here. We're going to start in about 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So walking out, finding your plank position, push up, coming back in. If not, we're just coming out and coming back in. Making sure to have that nice table pose. We're not arching, we're keeping our core engaged. Having our chest touch that ground for that push-up. Keep going. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Get a water break. That's the end of round 1. Round 2, we have our 30 seconds dips off. You can either do this chair, a bench, your bed, or you can do it from the ground. So your hands are on the edge, sitting off. If you bend your legs, that's going to be easier. Straighten your legs, it'll be harder. We're down, pushing on the way up, targeting our triceps. If you don't have any ledge, we're on the ground, hands facing forward. Be here, we're up, and we're down. Same thing. After that, we have our laying down bicycles. So we're here, opposite elbow, touching that opposite knee. And then we have 30 seconds plank jack. So it's like a jumping jack, but you're in a plank position. We're on our hands and our feet, and we're gonna open and close with our feet. Keeping our core tight, not arching. And then we have a 30-second 6-inch hold. If you want, put your hands below your lower back in that little groove there to make it harder. Hands out, feet out straight, holding those heels 6 inches from the ground. All right. And we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and go. Again, we want to make sure that we're that nice line. Don't stick out too far here. Try and go straight up. Squeezing on the top. You should be feeling this in your triceps. A few more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, getting our breath back. And we're gonna go into those laying down bicycles. And we're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opposite elbow, touching the opposite knee. Straightening the other leg out, trying not to let it touch the ground. Keeping our core tight, our head off the ground. Finding that dynamic tension, pulling in the opposite directions. Keep pushing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Next we have our plank jack. So we're in that plank position. We're here, out, and in. Nice and quick on our toes. Modification, step out and step in. And we're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're here, quick on our toes, keeping our core tight. It's okay to have a little bounce, but we don't want to keep you up here. We want to try and stay as flat as we can. Shoulders directly over the wrists. Keep pushing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Quick rest, and then we have our 6-inch hold. Finding the ground. Breathing, focusing on it in our nose, out our mouth. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We want to focus on having that pelvic tilt. We don't want to arch our back and have that space there. So put your hands there, or have your hands out. We're holding, legs out straight, 6 inches from the ground. Feeling our core tightening up. Legs straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Get a quick drink. And then we have round 3. Good old push-ups. We're here. Modification, come down to the knees. And then we have laying down on our mat. Legs up, vertical in the air, touching the outsides of our ankles. And then we have our plank shoulder taps. So we're in that plank position, touching those shoulders, nice and quick. And then we have our lemon squeezers. So we're out, back in. Catching our breath. We have 30 more seconds of rest here. Start feeling our heart rate's a little more elevated, breathing more, all good signs. And we're gonna start in about 10 seconds, right in those push-ups. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really focusing on our form, trying to have that nose and your chest touch the ground. Keeping that flat back, we're not arching, we're not TPing. Modification, down to the knees. So we're feeling in our shoulders, biceps, triceps, chest, core, all that stuff. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next, we're gonna get into laying down on our mat, legs vertical up in the air. Just like this. We have about 15 seconds here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Striving to touch the outside of our ankles. See if every time you can reach even higher. That's okay if you're not there. We're going for the shins. Keeping our head off the ground. Tightening our core every time we go up. Keeping those legs straight. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breather. Then we're going right into our plank shoulder taps. Breathing in, nose out the mouth. And we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, we're focusing. Try to have as little movement as you can. It's normal to have some, because obviously we're switching our center of gravity, but trying not to rock all over the place. Nice, quick on our hands. Comes right back up and then straight back down. And then the other hand goes. Keeping our core engaged, squeezing all those muscles in our body. 3, 2, 1, and rest. And then we have our lemon squeezers. Finding our way, sitting on our mat. And we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going out, back in, extending those legs out straight, coming right back in. We're leaning back, but we're not laying on the ground. Going in that nice table pose on our backs. Knees striving into the chest. Hands staying off the ground, not holding our legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Now we have one more round left, round 4. We're gonna have a plank position on our elbows, and we're gonna go up and back down, over and over for 30 seconds. And then we have full sit-ups. We're here, hands crossing over, touching out the shoulder, and elbows go above the knees. And then we have burpees. So we're up here, optional push-up, or just let yourself come to the ground and push on the way out. Modification, we're stepping, trying to get that jump in. And then we have our boat hold. So we're here, bending those legs, arms out by the side, holding. To challenge yourself, straighten those legs. And then we'll be done. Focusing on our breathing, taking in this good little rest break we have. We're gonna start in about 15 seconds. With those planks up and down. We're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up, back down. Trying to have as little bit of movement as we can. Modification, we're coming down to our knees. Well, let's try and stay on our feet if we can, and push through this 30 seconds. Nice and quick. Shoulders above the wrists. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Quick rest. And then we have our full sit-ups. Laying down, putting those feet here, planted on the ground. Opposite arm, crossing the midline of your body. And we're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Trying to keep those feet on the mat. You need to, sometimes it helps to tuck your toes under a bed or a couch, or have someone hold your feet down, but really try focusing your core and keeping those feet down. Elbows coming up over the knees. We're not going halfway. We're going all the way up. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Quick rest. We're going to get into those dreaded burpees that we know are good for us. Catching our breath real quick. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down to that push-up if we can. Jumping up. Keeping our core tight. This works our whole body. Get explosive on the way up. Focusing on our good form. Keep pushing here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See if you can get one more in. And rest. And then we have our boat hold. On the ground. Let's finish this last exercise strong, and then we'll have our cool down. Get in that water break if you need to. Starting to feel heart rate's definitely coming up now. And it definitely works your cardio. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're holding. If you want to challenge yourself, straightening those legs. Keeping our core engaged, not having the arms on the ground, holding them up. Finding that inner strength in yourself to push yourself to keep going. You've made it this far. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Water break. Amazing job. You made it through that. And however that looked, it's different for everybody, but as long as we're out here doing it. Catching our breath, we're going to transition into cool down. So like from the warm up, cross one arm over, bending it and pull. Focusing on our breathing. If you're feeling dizzy or lightheaded, it's okay to sit down. Know your own body. And switch. Alright, and we're gonna bend up, bend it, grabbing the opposite elbow, pulling behind the head. Today was definitely working on that strength training, building those muscles, and that toning without any unnecessary bulk. You can do all of these exercises adding weight. If you want to further your strength building, definitely do that if you have the access to it. But this exercise, if you want to do it more than once to push yourself more, that's a great idea, especially if you're hesitant with nowadays and going to the gym. It's always good to come back to these. They're going to be posted on the Valpo page. And let's go in that stance, up and over, reaching down, opening up our whole side. And switch sides. And let's go down and touch our toes. Striving to touch the ground. Putting your knee in your chest, aiming that to your thighs. And let's go down to the right, spreading those feet apart. And to the left. And let's come up, sit down, leg out straight, crossing it over or next to the knee, opposite arm, elbow on the knee, and twist back. Stretching that core, it might be tight. Did a lot of work today. And switch sides. Same with every breath, if you can twist a little bit deeper, as long as you're not getting shooting pains. Gazing back behind us. All right. And let's lay down and hug our knees, rolling around on our back. And let's come into cat stretch. So we're on our knees, just out straight, pushing that chest to the ground, except bring your arm through. This is going to help with your shoulders. And hold. And switch. Feeling all that tightness in your muscles and try and relax and go deeper into the stretch. And let's sit back in the child's pose. And come up into a seal, letting those feet come down, chest up, opening up our abdomen. And let's transition to butterfly. Trying to get those knees down the ground. If you want to, stretching out those wrists. Had a lot of strain on them today with all those planks. Reflecting on your body, anywhere that feels sore. Again, another long week. We're almost in the home stretch, the end of the semester. Just keep pushing yourself. I know it's getting darker earlier, and you might just want to curl up in your bed and sleep, which is totally good to take care of yourself. But again, still make time for bettering your health and working out, even if it's just 30 minutes throughout the day, whether that's going on a walk or doing a HITT exercise. Take care of yourself, and it's all right to have breaks. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in, and look out for next week's video.